Hey y'all, my name is Hannah Hicks and today is November 6th of 2014. I'm going to be talking about breastfeeding and why women should breastfeed for the first 6 months of a newborn's life rather than bottle feed. Does it offend you whenever you see a woman in public bottle feeding her baby? Not really, but this tends to be looked at differently whenever a mother is breastfeeding her baby in public. As an experienced mother of breastfeeding, I can tell you that if I ever have future kids, they will all be breastfed. This is an important issue because breast milk can improve the health of all newborns as they transition to toddlers and eventually to adults. Also because the nation spends so much money on formula and as well as all the accessories that go along to needing formula that could go to other issues. This is important as we grow up, as our child grows up, and as our children's children grow up. There are way more benefits to breastfeeding than bottle feeding, such as expense, the benefits of your baby drinking breast milk rather than formula, and most importantly, the bond between mother and baby. Now let's talk about how the payment methods of breast milk differ from the amount of formula. Babies are expensive, really expensive, and I believe we all know that. But did you know that if you breastfeed your baby, you can save anywhere from $1,500 to $3,000 a year daily, according to SavingAdvice.com. The U.S. would save an average of 1,000 lives and billions of dollars each year because you don't have to buy bottles, formula, all the other accessories that come with bottle feeding. Now that you see how much cheaper breast milk is, let's talk about how beneficial it is to your baby. Many people do not breastfeed because they physically are not able to. Their body will not produce enough milk to maintain your body's appetite and to be able to make your baby gain the weight that it needs to. But a huge reason many moms do not breastfeed is because they do not have the emotional support you need. When you go out and someone looks at you funny, you feel very humiliated and it's very intimidating. But if you have someone by your side saying that it's okay and reassuring you that it is the best thing for your baby, it makes it so much easier for the mother. One of my friends, Jessica, she has 2 different children. One of them is 7 and one is just a little over a year old. They both have different dads. Her first child, Emily, she was not breastfed because her husband he was very abusive and he was not supportive of the topic at all because he was scared of how attractive Jessica would be after she got done. But they got a divorce and she remarried, and with her son, Ryan, the one who is a little over a year old, she's breastfed him since he was a baby because her husband now is very supportive of it, and Ryan has had no ear infections, many less problems than what Emily did when she was an infant, and is a lot happier baby. According to one of the blogs that I read off of Facebook, it's Breastfeeding Mama Talk blog, a quote that really stuck out to me was, support sometimes means putting your personal belief for yourself aside to empathize with someone else. Rather, just because you show support to someone, it doesn't also mean you're saying you would do it yourself. Take the you out of support. Support isn't about you, it's about the other person. Breast milk contains over 100 other components that are not in formula. Some of these are living biological fluid, antibacterial, antiviral, antiparasitic, anti-allergenic properties. It also contains the mother's lifetime supply of antibodies that she has accumulated over the years. They have a lesser chance of diarrhea, respiratory infections, ear infections, meningitis, urinary tract infections, and SIDS throughout the first year. They also have a lesser chance of tooth decay, type 1 diabetes, childhood obesity, and some childhood cancers later on in life. Finally, they have a lower chance of developing asthma, colic, food allergy, and eczema in infants with a family history of these diseases. Did you know that breastfed babies have been proven to have higher IQ scores later on in life? So why wouldn't you want to breastfeed? Now, not just the baby gets all the benefits, the mom does too. I mean, why else would we want to do it if mother didn't benefit from it at all? When breastfeeding moms do not have nowhere near as much postpartum bleeding after delivery as bottle feeding moms do, this leads to a faster postpartum delivery. Moms have an amazing amount of weight loss after delivery if breastfeeding. So if you're worried about that extra 30 pounds that's just hanging around, you won't have to go to the gym every day to lose it because breastfeeding burns 500 calories a day. Breastfeeding gives you a natural sense of relaxation, or they say a natural high, because you release the hormone oxytocin during the period that your baby is breastfeeding. And lastly, moms have a major decrease of breast, uterine, and ovarian cancers, heart disease, and diabetes later on in life. And all that information I learned from Crystal Gilstrap at AmMed Health in Anderson, South Carolina, when I took a breastfeeding class in May of 2014 while I was pregnant. Lastly, let's talk about one of the most important things, the bond it will give you between you and your baby. Your baby depended on you for 9 months for all his resources, all his oxygen, all his food, and everything that the baby needed to grow successfully and be healthy. After your baby is delivered, you won't have to worry about not being able to be there for your baby, because your baby still will depend on you for his or her resources. The baby looks at you constantly and begins to realize who you are more frequently than when other people bottle feed your baby. And then me and my 4-month-old Olivia have a very special bond because of breastfeeding. She looks at me with such awe while she is eating. Everyone says breast is best, and I believe that to be true, because when we go out with people eating or just to hang out, I don't have to put the burden on somebody else of having to feed my baby. I'm also not ashamed to feed my baby in public, because I like to make a stand for all the mothers who are scared and intimidated to do so. I do it so mothers can know that they are not alone, and this is what nature intended us to do. I mean, Jesus didn't have formula, so why do we need to have formula? And if you can do it, why would you not want to? And finally, you see how breast milk is different from formula and how much more favorable it is for you and your baby. Overall, breastfeeding is cheaper, healthier, and creates a strong bond for you and your baby. If you can get past how difficult it is for the first 2 weeks, and if you and your baby can learn to have a good latch and be able to bond and be able to emotionally be there for your baby and be able to produce the milk for your baby to breastfeed, then you're good to go. I hope that everything I've said to you has been able to help you make your choice for wanting to breastfeed or not to breastfeed, rather than bottle feed him or her for the first 6 months. And I hope that y'all will get to have the same bond that me and my baby have. And I can say I've been breastfeeding for 4 months now, and I would never change the way that I've done it. And I promise you, me and my boyfriend, we plan on having 2 or 3 more kids, and I promise that all my babies will be breastfed. And I hope everything I said can make you make your choice to breastfeeding, and that y'all can share the same bond that me and my daughter do. Thank you.